Me? Oh, well, I guess welcome to the Whitey Jenkins show. Uh, Under some unfortunate circumstances, Whitey couldn't be with us. Many of you know he was doing his Hollywood stuff out there in California, wherever they go and do that, Atlanta. And seems he got arrested. Allegedly, he was hemmed up for public intoxication and disorderly conduct, which is anyone that knows Whitey knows it's impossible. It couldn't happen. So you know what though? I guess it's gonna be the Whitey. Since Whitey's gone, it's gonna be the Delbert Jenkins show. So welcome to the first ever episode of the Delbert Jenkins show. I'm your host, Delbert Jenkins, and have I got a action-packed saga for you today. Not only am I going to tell you about putting money on Whitey's books, why he's rotting in that cell, I'm going to talk to none other than the leader of the Sin City Sensations. I guess you could say I'm his co-host today. It's Mr. Stevie Idol. Stevie Idol. It's a wrestler from the Sin City Sensations.
That's all that motherfucker. I'll cut you. You know what I'm saying? You don't talk. I'm Stevie fucking Idol. You don't talk. You don't talk to me like what I was now.
Hell,
Oh,
Stevie.
Hey,
what's
Whitey,
going on, man?
Stevie, what's up?
Oh no, I'm Delbert. Delbert, Whitey couldn't be here this afternoon.
I'm on the wrong show. They told me.
No. It's the Whitey Jenkins show.
The Whitey Jenkins show.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, so you are Whitey? Yeah, okay. So you're Whitey.
Yes.
Jenkins, so.
Yeah.
Dude, what's up? It's good. I've never done one of these pod radio. I've been on. I did a radio like promoting guys promoting wrestling and all that, but I've never done on the internet. On the what do you call these pod?
Yeah, it's a podcast, but it's broadcast on the internet a little bit too.
What? Okay. So I'm sorry, Whitey. I'm just trying to get it's early, dude. It's
right. Oh, I believe me. I know all about early rising. Let me ask you this, Stevie. And first off, thank you for being here on the Whitey Jenkins show. Easy, brother.
Oh man, Whitey, thanks for having me on here, brother. Like this has been a dream of mine for since Thursday, and it's.
Well, it's actually an honor for Whitey and I. He was very important that we keep this date. He said to me, Delbert, no matter what, you got to get Stevie Idol on. He was very adamant about it. And we don't do a lot of interviews per se, stuff like that. And so it's actually an honor for us to have you on. You've done so many things and been so many places. I'm a little starstruck, man. A little bit.
Oh, hey, man, that's sweet of you to say, man. But I'm just like any other dude that's been wrestling for 30 years, 20. I'm just a dude, man. It's all Ain't got to be all that. You know what I'm saying? Just a man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no need to be starstruck, brother. We all work at Walmart during the week. You know what I'm saying? Like it's what it is.
Well, tell me this: 30 plus years in the business, the wrestling business, the bumps, the bruises. They say you only get one punch card. And when it's punched up, you're punched out. Tell us about how you broke in. How did you end up in the wild world of wrestling?
Well, I grew up, watching like the Hulkster and you know Ted, Ted the Money Man, and the big who's that big bald headed fat guy?
King Kong
Gene.
Bundy.
Oh yeah, King Kong, Bubbly, and I just I was like, dude, I could, I could do that, like I can get in there and I get in there and pretend like I'm fighting somebody, and because that don't even look like a real job, like I rather get in there and you know, and do all that than have to go punch his clock. So that's that's just what we did.
Well, you've been everywhere. You work for so many companies. Tell me about when you broke in and you finally had established yourself. You moved out of the Indies and you was featured on a lot of ROH dark matches. Is that true?
Um, at, early shows, at in them community centers. I mean, they was kind of dark in there. Um, but I mean, most time they had it, they had it lit, pretty good. But I mean, I started out, dude. Like, I went all the. I started out, and like I was in like the BCWA and AWE C, and then so I went down there to that one Ring of Honor show, right? And you remember who's that guy? He was on. He wrestled for Vince, and he's yeah. And then sometimes it's like no. Remember that guy? You know what I'm talking about?
Uh, are you, the
Daniel
Big Show?
Bryanson or something like that. Daniel
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 Bryan.
Bryanson had a big beard. Yeah, he was there.
So what's the worst thing, or what's your best memory probably about wrestling the dark matches for ROH?
It was just, I mean, mostly just it's hard to see. Like that's just, I mean, that's why it's got to call it dark match. I mean, it's just, it's you don't see a whole. I just don't
Do
see a
you,
whole lot.
do you think it's like they charge less rent for not
That's
running
probably
as
because
many lights?
they're not paying the bills. I mean, because I mean we've all been. I mean, Whitey, we all been there where you thought you paid, and then all of a sudden your lights start going out, and sitting in the dark, and then call the power company. Hey, what the fuck is going on? Ain't no power. And then they're just like, you ain't paid the bill since January, and it's June.
No,
That's just how it
no.
is. I mean, it's just. I mean, we all been there, Whitey. Don't act like you had your lights turned out, man. I mean, I know you've been in the wrestling. You know what's up. We all had our lights out. It's just.
Usually, whenever me and Whitey's lights went out, we'd always shack up with a rat. Tell me any rat stories. You got any rat stories?
Oh man, I mean, I've we went down there to what's that town in Alabama? Y'all in Alabama, ain't you? Ain't you?
Albertville, Arkansas.
We went to Albertville, Arkansas, in Alabama one time. And there's this girl, and she she was sitting out there in the front row, and she had on this shirt with Steve Stone Cold on it, But I mean, this was like 2000 and something. Steve Austin had already quit, but she's still rocking that Steve Austin shirt. So I went over. I kind of smooth. I've been doing this a while. I'm a player, so I took a clothesline. I rolled out of the ring. No one over. I was like, hell yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh hell yeah, Then after it's over with, we drank some Stevie Weisers out in the parking lot back there behind that that building in there in Albertville, Arkansas, and Alabama. And we were back behind the building where they say the promoter touches the kids at back there, and that kind of creeped me out. So then we just, we got in a car, and
I've been back there.
I mean,
I've been back there. It
I
is a
bet you have.
creepy spot.
Did you see you saw the recliner with the duct tape and the stains? Lots of stains.
It's the kind of building you wipe your feet when you leave so you don't bring it out into the world.
That's what you're funny, dude. That's I like that.
Tell me about a little bit about after ROH. I've heard infamous stories about you working for WCW.
Oh yeah, man. I worked for Ted. Back in the 90s, I worked for Ted Turner, the WCW. He signed me to like a $3 million contract deal.
Wow. How long was the contract?
Well, I mean, Terry put in a good word for me. I mean, I had
Terry. You mean Hulk Hogan?
That's right, brother. Yeah, me and Terry.
Oh, back, wow.
And so Terry Terry told Eric Bisquick, that guy, the dude that was on
with the hair.
He was the boss. With the hair. Look like what they call him, like a Ken doll is what Scott Hall used to say. Chico. I hung out with Chico too. Scott Hall, we get into some stuff, what I'm saying? We don't talk about that here because this is the internet's classy place. You don't talk about, stuff like that. But
what happened with your WCW career? Because it seems like, for all young wrestlers around that time period, that would be a real springboard into other stuff.
What have you heard?
I didn't hear. I didn't hear anything. I just heard you had a match and maybe some disagreements in the back.
All right, so I wasn't gonna go. I mean, since you've already got dirt sheets on. They brought me. So I got the $3 billion contract. They bring me in for my first set of tapings for us that worldwide, and they put me in there with Conan. He had his pants sagging and all that, and I don't want to pull the curtain back too far here, and just get in all the inside, But I don't know if you know this. It's probably in common knowledge. Like Conan's Mexican, right? I don't know if you'd ever heard that, but Conan's Mexican, and so he was working my right arm. He was doing everything in the wrong side, and he just pardon my Spanish, he just fucked the match up, and because of him, the match was terrible. Because and I don't want to just come around and say we had a terrible match because Conan's Mexican, but we did, and that's why. This is why he didn't know how to work, and we had to go to Eric Bisquick took us up to Ted Turner's office, and I was like, "Hey, Ted, this fucking Mexican has messed the match up. Now they want to show it on the show." And so Bisquick took his side. They took Conan's side because he was a bigger star, and he was bringing. And see, Conan was bringing all them other Mexicans in. See, all them other mask guys, they was Mexican too, and they was putting them on the Monday night. The one against Raw, and he had all them Mexicans out there. And so if he fired Conan, he's gonna lose all his Mexicans. And if he kept Stevie, then I was just gonna bring, I'd have brought in Bro Broderick, High Times Bro Broderick. I'd have brought in, Stiff Peter Brooks. I'd have brought all my boys in, but they are Mexican and they don't wear masks and all that. And so they canceled my $3 billion contract, and I got screwed.
So what you're saying is Eric Bischoff hates white people?
I know they're gonna use that for like the clickbait headlines and all, but it's true. It was my experience. That's why that's how
it makes a lot of sense. And from there you went.
But I ended up working for Vince. You know what I mean? Like Vince, in the end, Vince beat everybody. I worked for Vince McMahon. I had a run in WWF Federation. So I mean, I did all right. You know.
Tell me a little bit about your experiences working for WWE. What all did you get to do there?
You know, I mean, uh, me and Glenn is good friends, so you know, we hung out with his
Kane?
brother Mark. Yeah, I mean, Kane to you. And we were hanging out with his brother Mark. You know, I don't know if you know that, but they really are brothers. That's a shoot, brother.
The
And
Undertaker and Kane are real brothers, like blood brothers.
oh, it's like the Steiners and the Andersons and the Beverly Brothers. I mean, that's legit, dude. And so me and Glenn would hang out with Mark, and we would play. I mean, you've seen it on them documentary. We used to sit back there and we play Crazy Eights and go fish. You know, with
What
the
about Rook?
Mark never would play Rook. Man, he said Rook was for pussies, and he wouldn't play it, which I thought was kind of bullshit. But you know, we had to play with that pimp dude, and he didn't like Rook neither, and then that fat sumo guy. So you know, he's got to do what they want to do. They're the ones that's been around. So,
So what happened? Why didn't what happened with your run with WWE?
well, I mean, it started out. So eventually, what I was told, Vince Russo wanted to put strap the rocket to Stevie, and I was eventually gonna have a run with Austin. But, then they had me. The first thing, like, what we're gonna bring in, we're gonna play security guard, and Glenn's gonna choke slam you on a ramp, and then I don't know what happened after that, dude. Like I took the choke slam, I took it like champ, and that's all anybody was talking to Meltzer the next day on the set. He gave it like 10 stars. Says best choke slam I've ever seen, and I guess The Rock and Steve Austin, all them guys was scared, that I was fixing to take off and upstage them. Then they got me fired, just like Conan in the WCW.
Wow, wow, that's awful. What ended up happening after that? I see
What?
that you did a little time in Japan, and then you was in rehab. What come first? Did you go to rehab, or did you go to Japan, or did you go to rehab and then go to Japan and then go to rehab?
Dude, oh, bro, oh, I don't really remember. Like, I'm not good with uh, like time and dates and names and places and stuff. But I just remember a lot of people, a lot of dudes was going to Japan. Like, oh, go to Japan, you make a lot of money. The Japanese hit hard. And I'm like, I hit harder than that. But before I went to Japan, I started making a name for myself. After you know, who's them boys from North Carolina? They're brothers, not Kane and
Uh,
Undertaker, but they jump off
the
everything.
Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys. They had the ladder match with them vampire kids, and it's people's like, oh, ladder. So I started doing ladder matches on indies, and they tell me. I mean, I tell you, I don't really remember, but I was like, I just know we was having ladder match, and I was at the very tippy top, and the next thing I know, I was in like ICU like 6 weeks later. But they tell me like I fell off the top of the ladder, and I bounced off the top ropes, and I landed head first on the gym floor. And it messed me up like for a while. But I mean, a lot of people try to say I ain't never been the same since, but I don't. I'm fine. I don't. Yeah. I mean, so. But anyway, what was you asking me about?
I was asking you about when you went to Japan and worked.
Oh, dude, let me tell you something. I don't. I mean, did you ride? Whitey, did you wrestle? You
Yeah,
wrestled,
yeah,
right?
yeah. I've wrestled in the Indies
What's
a
what's
little.
the farthest? What's the farthest trip you ever drove on?
Me and Whitey took a trip one time that was probably 870 miles one way. So it's probably about around 2,000 miles round trip rough.
Bro, I mean, driving to Japan when me and Bro Broderick drove to
Wait,
Japan,
wait, wait, wait.
that was the
Y'all,
longest
you,
fucking.
you, you can drive to Japan?
I mean, if you set your mind to it, I mean, not if you're like, oh, it's too far, we can't drive that
No,
far. But I mean,
no,
if
but
you
I mean,
really
you can actually like get in a car and drive to Japan.
order truck, whatever you got, man. I mean, it ain't gotta be a car. I mean, we took a car because it's gas mileage, because it's long damn. Japan's like far. It took us like 4 weeks to get there, but
You you drove to Japan in 4 weeks.
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was. I mean, Funaki was there, and there's a
Wow,
guy with the painted face. He spit at people. Was his name? Great
Kabuki.
Buki. Yeah. I mean, so I'm pretty sure. I mean, it had to be Japan. I mean, because there was all these Japanese people there.
You was in Japan.
Yeah, dude, we was in
So
Japan,
you,
like, and they was stiff as shit. Um,
what's your favorite memory of Japan?
I don't remember a lot about it, but like we used to go. I mean, me and bro, like every day we was in Japan, we would go eat Chinese food at a Chinese buffet. Because we figured while we're there, we might as well enjoy the culture. So we would go to
So
Chinese buffet.
even in Japan, you ate a Chinese Chinese buffet.
Yeah, I mean, when in Japan, do as the Japs do. We ate a Chinese buffet every day. You know, I
So,
mean, I ain't
but
use the chop, I ain't use the sticks, but
well, what about like do they do other countries' cuisines? Was there all
I mean, I don't know
American?
why people make such a big deal, like, because right down from the Tokyo Community Center where we wrestled, I mean, they had all this. I had McDonald's, Chick Fil A, they had Burger Kings, they had Taco Bell, all that stuff. But we just, like I said, since we was in Japan, we figured, well, we might as well eat Chinese buffet. So, and how often we gonna get real live, Japanese food?
Well, let me
That's
ask
just
you
how we were.
this.
I mean, you could have ate Pizza Hut if you wanted to, but I mean, we figured we're there. You just get the real stuff.
I hear you. So after your Japan, right, Stevie, Stevie.
All right, what's up, dude?
Okay, so after your
All right, Whitey.
Japan runs, you had some run-ins with the law. You did some time. You was in rehab, in and out of rehab a few times. Tell me a little bit about that, and how's things for you today? What's Stevie Idol's life like today?
I mean, how do you find? How did you find out? Who told you that?
I mean,
Wait a
I'm
minute.
just.
Wait a minute. What'd you say? What'd you ask me?
I said
What you,
after
what you just fucking ask me?
after Japan, you had a couple of incidences with the law, and you had did some rehab.
Oh, you mean drug? Yeah, yeah. Drug rehab. Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. I mean,
What kind of drugs were you
I did.
on?
I used to do. I mean, okay. So I did a lot of. I mean, I smoked a lot of crack. Obviously, we all smoked crack. I did some meth. I did, a lot of pills. A lot of pills. But I mean, heroin. I did all. I mean, me and bro did heroin
What's
a whole car trip to Japan. I mean, we was, you know, out of our
who
freaking
who
gourds.
drove?
I don't even remember. I don't even remember, dude. Like, it was crazy. It's a crazy
So
time.
what kind of drugs were you doing
I
besides
told you,
the
we did
heroin, the
heroin.
crack? Were you doing
I mean, I don't want to focus on like I'm clean. Like so, this last time, I mean, this last time I went to rehab. Mark was in there. And I mean, me and him, we used to wrestle in Alabama together in that tin building up there, in the Sand Mountains up there. So I've been
Mickey
knowing Mark
Henry.
for a long. Yeah, I've been knowing Mark for a long time. We went in there together, and we're both completely clean now. I mean, we're straight as an arrow. If you can say that, yeah,
So
straight.
you're different today. So
Oh man, I'm clear
today,
headed, dude.
if
Like,
I was like, if I said Stevie Idol, let's jump in a car and ride to Japan and shoot this heroin, what would Stevie Idol today say?
I say, hell no, man. Like, I'm clean. I'm not going to shoot heroin. I will not. I will. Stevie Idol will not shoot. I will not shoot heroin. Will not do it. I'm clean. Me and Marky B. We got cleaned up, dude.
What if what if I said let's get in a car, let's snort a little bit of cocaine, and let's go to Delaware?
I mean, if I'm not going to do heroin, um, I'm not going. I mean, I'm not going to smoke crack, obviously. But I mean, if we had to go all the way to Delaware and it's the weekend, I mean, I might snort a little cocaine, just a little. I mean, not like doing drugs. I'm just talking about just a little, little cocaine, keep me awake so I can drive the car. I mean, but I
Right, to
will not
take
do
the
no
edge off.
heroin, will not smoke any crack. But I mean, I might take a little snort of cocaine just to stay awake. I mean, that's like drinking caffeine. It's like a cup of coffee. It's not drugs. Doing drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. What if you were hanging out in a dumpster and a lady said if you hit a little bit of crack it'll help my baby? Would you do it for the baby?
I mean, normally, um, I mean, I'm off for crack. I will not Monday through Sunday. I will not do crack. But if it's to help a baby, I mean, if I got to do a little bit, smoke a little bit of crack, help that poor baby, then I'll just enough to help that baby. But I'm not doing it the next day. You know, I mean, unless that baby needs help the next day, and if that baby needs help the next day, all right, now I'll smoke just a little more crack, just so that baby's all right. But after that, I'm done unless 3 days in a row that baby needs me to smoke crack. I'm for the children. I'm like Wu Tang. I mean, so if I have to, I ain't gonna like it. I'm not gonna get out of control, but I will smoke crack 3 or 4 days in a row just to help a baby. You can quote me on it.
I
You can put that on the headlines.
what if what if there was a old woman that was your cousin's nephew's neighbor and she had cancer and the only way to cure her cancer was to have you do a little bit of flocka? Would you do a little bit of flocka?
I mean, just about that much. If it was going to, because I hate can I'm very anti-cancer. I don't know how you feel, but like, I mean, I've
Oh, of course.
always been against cancer. I don't know if some people may be pro-cancer. That's their business, but I'm not. So if I had to do that much flocka to say save us old broad, then I mean I'll do what I have to do. I mean I'm not going to get off down the road with it again like before. But if I have to do that much to save a life and to cure cancer, then I mean that's what I got to do.
Well, let me ask you this. Where is Stevie Idol today? What does a day in the life of Stevie Idol today look like?
Uh, I mean, you mean like a work day or like an off day,
I mean, just a regular day for you.
like Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean, if it's Tuesday, I'll wake up about noon. I'll eat me some cereal, Pop Tart or something, and then if I'm on the schedule, then I got to go to Walmart, and I got to, change oil. 'Cause I work in the automotive, back in the automotive section. I work on. I'm down in the pit. You got to drain the oil out. That's mostly what I do. You know, but you gotta put that son of a bitch back in there. Before they get mad, you forget to put it in, and you got oil come out. It's hard to get. See that pretty blonde hair? It's hard to get oil out of that. But and then I'll take my break, go back behind the building with Pete, and used to on our break, me and Pete would go back there and we'd do some heroin. Okay, but I mean I'm clean. Me and Bagwell, we went through the program this time. It worked. So now me and Pete,
Wait. So you're in rehab with Buff Bagwell?
I told you there's never Marky B. I mean, that's my boy. That's Buff. Buff Daddy. Buff Daddy. All that, brother. We was in there. We got it. We got it straightened out, brother. I mean, we're both clean. I mean, we're both clean. Just sober as a preacher on Sunday. You know what I mean? So now if I go out back with Pete, when we used to would have done some heroin or we'd have smoked a little crack, we don't do that now. I mean, we might smoke a little weed, but that ain't
Right.
drugs.
Right.
And if I mean, all these years of wrestling, dude. I mean, we talked about going to Japan, falling off ladders, and so I mean, I'll take some pills to get through the day. I mean, you can't change oil all day if you ain't got some pills in you. I mean, that's just common sense. That's not
Right.
doing drugs. That's taking medicine. You know what I mean?
Right.
So then we come back off break, work a few more hours, take a lunch break. All right, we may have a few beers on lunch. Okay. I don't mean get shit housed. We got to go back to work. That don't make me an alcoholic. It's just a few beers on lunch. I mean, I'm sure you drink beers on your lunch break, right?
I love beers.
I'm sure you smoke a little, doobie or two during the day. I mean, I'm sure you got a couple of dozen pills in you just to get you through. So then get off work. I'll come home. I'll play a little Dr. Mario or something on the old Nintendo. I'll eat me a grilled cheese sandwich and something like you know something healthy for dinner. I used to I would eat a big ham, bacon, cheeseburger, but now I eat healthy stuff like grilled cheese and uh, you know barbecue stuff like that. That's good for you. And then after that, I mean, I got to come down to go to bed, but I'm not on drugs anymore. So I'll just take a few more pills and I get me about 4, 5 good shots of vodka to wash the pills down, and then I'm out till noon or so the next day. And it's not
Heck
like
yeah.
back when I lived my life high and strung out on drugs anymore. I mean, I'm doing it right. You know what I'm saying, bro?
So you're living better sober. You don't miss the highlight.
I mean, I ain't gonna say I ain't saying I don't miss it. We go out. We probably go have a match, and then the matches were a lot better when I was strung out. I mean, I
Right.
still wrestle, and the matches, you get in there, you smoke you some crack and get in that dressing room, you're like, hey, Whitey, we're going, come off, But now that I'm not strung out, now I'm just like, hey, let's just walk and talk, brother. He pulled my hair, he pulled my tights, and let's just keep it simple. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's part of being clean. Ass buff.
A lot of people in the wrestling industry coin you for coming up with the name CM Punk. Can you tell me anything about that?
I mean, yeah, man. I mean, I helped get Phil in the business. I was in Chicago back in the day. I was working for Ace Steel, and then this little skinny dude came up. His name's Phil Brooks, I think. And at first, Ace didn't let him in because he's like, oh, he's too skinny. He's straight edge. Like, dude didn't do no drugs, and I mean that kind of freaked. That's how me and him hit it off at first because like I was fascinated by that. Like I was like, dude, how you get to how you do, how you not take no drugs? Like that's stupid. But eventually, took the kid under my wing. I had some basketball shorts that had some X's down the sides, from like I had did. They had three X's on each side because I had did some time of my life I don't really want to talk about. I did some porno for a little bit, and I had them shorts with the X's on the side, so I wanted to forget about that part of my life. So I gave Phil them short pants, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to be, because if A still was gonna call him like Fabulous Phil Brooks or something like, and I was just like, no, man, we're gonna call you, and I said CM Punk, and then that's what he's been called ever since.
Incredible. Let
Now,
me
you know
ask
what the
you
CM
this:
stands for, right?
what does it stand for? Cash
So
money?
like, no, that would have been good though. Punk, he's from Chicago, so he's a big Chicago Bulls fan. And like his favorite Chicago Bull was Carl Malone. So I said, Carl Malone, CM Punk. And that's how I got it.
So the CM stands for Carl Malone Punk.
That's his favorite Chicago Bull of all time.
I'll be down.
Yeah.
I'll be down. What are you doing today, Stevie Idol? You say you're still wrestling. You're still hitting the circuits. Who are some of the impressive guys you've seen on the indies today?
Um, I mean, I'm not good with names. Like I wrestled them. What are they called? Distinguished gentlemen's or something like that. There's a blonde headed kid, and he's
The
got a
nice
shorter guy as
guys.
a partner, a little shorter partner.
The
Uh,
nice guys.
the nice guys, I think they was. I seen them down in. Uh, I don't remember. I think I seen them in Peachtree wrestling over in Georgia. I think they're like tag. I think they're like tag team champions of
The
Peachtree.
violent gentleman. The
Peachtree.
violent
Yeah,
gentleman.
that's what it is. That's yeah. They got one of they got one of these patio shows.
I know them. Yeah, my cousin Whitey. He knows them. We know them.
Oh,
Have you heard of my favorite wrestler? One of my favorite wrestlers today in the up and coming. My cousin has been fortunate enough to book him a few times for his shows. But it's Cuck Chad. Have you seen Cuck Chad in action?
oh, dude, that's that's crazy, man. I train Cuck Chad too.
You trained Cuck Chad.
I mean, not in wrestling, not in wrestling, but
Oh, what?
just cuckold. But we don't go into all that.
Well,
But yeah, I taught him
I
everything.
the last time he was supposedly supposed to be in action, I actually missed it, but I got there in time to catch the main event. And when I looked over, Cuck Chad was watching it with me.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's his thing, man. I mean, you hear people talk about, wrestling is you got to live the gimmick. Like this got to be you. Like they say, oh, Steve Austin was like Stone Cold. He just turned it up to a billion or whatever. I mean, that's why Cuck Chad uses that gimmick because that's what he's about in real life. I mean, he's Cuck Chad 24/7. Ask his wife.
Heck yeah. I love him. Have you followed any of the Memphis wrestler? Have you ever heard of Mark Starr?
Mark Starr. Uh, Only wrestler from like that Memphis area that I really remember working with a while back was there's a guy named Chuck the Truck. He hit me with a chair like a bunch of times, and I don't really remember much else about it anyway. Yeah, that's really The wrestling over there really ain't that good. Like I don't really like to go to Memphis. Like they don't draw crowds over there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Do you think Mark Starr's hair is his own hair?
are you talking about Dustin Starr, the
Yeah,
guy with the big pompadour? Oh, that dude
yeah.
definitely wears a wig. That dude definitely wears a wig, dude. That's why I won't work for him because I don't. You can quote me, dude. You can quote me on this right now. Like I don't have a lot of things I stand up for. Like I usually put up with most anything, but I've never had any respect for anybody that wears a wig. That's just fucking pathetic, dude. Like why you why you gonna wear a wig? I mean, you gotta have if you can't have nice hair like this,
That
then just
that's a
don't have
good
no
head
hair.
of hair you're rocking right now,
Oh,
Stevie Idol. You've gone
I
through
mean,
many looks through the years, but this probably is your best look.
I had people confuse me all the time for that diners and drive-ins guy off the Food Network.
Guy
Um,
Ritchie.
yeah, and then some people think that I look like a heavy set Zack Ryder is what they call me, or Matt Carduva or whatever he calls himself now. And I also had somebody one time accuse me of being Violent J from the Insane Clown Posses without the makeup on.
What
And
is what did
I can't confirm or deny if that's true because kayfabe.
so you wasn't like, no, it's me, Stevie Idol.
No, man, I ain't getting mauled. I mean, this was at a Denny's, and I mean, I'm just trying to eat my Grand Slam, and if I announce and I'm Stevie Idol, and you know, I'll be signing pancakes for an hour. You know, I ain't got time for that.
Blonde rat, brunette rat. Who you leaving with? Who's Stevie Idol going home with?
Well, I mean, you know, when I worked for Vince back, you know, I had me and Sonny hooked up, you know, for a while. And a lot of people blame me saying that's how she ended up on drugs and all that, but that's how me and her hooked up. She was already hunting some drugs. I just happened to have some drugs, and she didn't have any cash on her at the moment. And I'm like, well, there's other ways, you know. But we ain't got. That's not for this pod show thing.
What about what do you have any upcoming bookings?
What's the day? I
The
think
20th.
I think I will be. Uh, I think I'm gonna wrestle at that. You know, we was talking about the show in the 10 building up there on the Sand Mountain. I think I'm supposed to wrestle on some show where we're gonna give away bicycles or something. I don't know, but I, was, I don't really.
Gonna wrestle for bicycles?
No, man. Like for unfortunate kids, they're gonna have a bunch of unfortunate kids there. They have people donate bicycles, and then Mickey gives the unfortunate kids bicycles if they win a battle royal or something. I don't. He kind
They
of
put
lost
the
me.
kids. The kids are in the battle royal.
Yeah, I think they put the bicycles on a pole. Like each corner, they got a bicycle on a pole, and they grease up the poles, and then the kids have got to climb up there and get. I mean, it sounds pretty fucking entertaining to me. Like I mean, I'd go just to watch that. I mean, even if I wasn't gonna wrestle, but I mean, I think I got a wrestle buff or a midget or a midget buff or something. I don't know. Like that, I couldn't really. I do. He kind of rambles, and I mean, if there's one thing I don't like is somebody just rambles and you don't know. You know, I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
What's a dream match for Stevie Idol look like?
Like, what do you mean?
Like a dream match, like in your wildest dreams. Who would you take on?
I got okay. I know what you're talking about now. Andre the Giant in a scaffold match. Who is it? What? No, Stevie's not here. I gotta go, dude. That's sounds important. So, thanks for having me on your what is this?
So I guess that's all the time we have for Stevie Idol. I've been Delbert Jenkins for the Whitey Jenkins Show. Dustin Starr, we ain't forgot about you and your damn wig. We're